Hey everyone, my name is David Rao and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Patreon, a variety of places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a book that I use in a variety of ways. It's called Lola's Fandango. It's got a ton of options for it, and I can't wait to share about that, how I use it this month and other months in the year. That's coming up in just a second. Before I get there, I want to share about a couple things in case you see a book or resource, something that you're interested in. I have a page on my blog dedicated to all the links I talk about in these videos. You can find it when you click the video tab on my page, or just wherever you're watching or listening to this, there should be a link down at the bottom. Just follow that to go right to all those links. If you want to have some more training, but you want to do it in person, well, I'm going to be at a couple workshops coming up in the next month or so. I just spent the last 2 weeks on the road. 2 weeks ago, I was in Cincinnati. Last week, I was in Denver. And on October 4th, I'm going to be in Boston with the New England Orff chapter, doing a workshop all about stories and storytelling and stringing together lessons using narratives. That's coming up again on October 4th. And then November 1st, I'm going to be in Alberta, in Edmonton, with the Alberta Orff chapter. I'm excited to share a whole day of workshops with them. Can't wait to go up and visit some of my friends up north in Canada. So if you're in either of those places, I'd love to see you. If you aren't, you can go to my blog, makemomentsmatter.org, and click the About Me tab. And I have all the workshops I'm doing in the coming year. There are a couple state conventions coming up that I'm really excited about. So go and check out and see if I'm going to be in your area. One more fun thing, if you are interested and you want more good training about a topic that is tricky, then there is a free workshop coming up this weekend, and it's all online. So Aileen Miracle from Mrs. Miracle's Music Room, from Aileen's Music Room, she puts on these cool things called the Music Room Meetup, and she's had several of these. One was like focused towards primary grades, one was focused towards secondary grades, and this one is specific on students who are neurodivergent, teaching students who have sensory needs, who are autistic, who need special accommodations. If you're like, I have trouble with IEPs and I don't understand, or I need help with making my classroom more accessible, and I need to make my teaching, I need to change things, I need to be able to work better so that I can reach these students better. There's a free meetup happening this weekend. There's some really great sessions that are happening, just like you're going to come away with ideas, strategies, lesson ideas, things that you can implement in your own classroom, and it's a free meetup. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link on the links page, and you can go and check that out. So you can join that and get really great resources and advice about teaching neurodivergent students who just don't take in stimulation and information in quite the same ways. So check it out. It's a link on the links page. You can learn all about it and sign up for free if you want. And like I said, that link is on the links page, so you can go and check that out. Aileen is great, and I know that this is going to be a super awesome summit, so I hope you'll come join. Okay, so today I want to talk about a book that I like to use in my classroom, not just this month, but all throughout the year. Why am I mentioning it now? Well, it's Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, and so it's a time where you might want to focus on books and stories and culture and songs and things that come from the Hispanic and Latinx culture, from Spanish-speaking countries, from Spanish-speaking traditions, from Latin America. So it's a great time to focus on those stories. I have a whole it's called like an ideas list of books and things that you might use for this month. So that, I put a link to that on the links page so you can see some books that you might consider using or getting from your library, or getting your library to buy. But the one book I want to share about today is this book called Lola's Fandango. And Lola's Fandango is written by Anna Whitty and illustrated by Misha Archer. And on the front cover, one of my favorite things is it says, narrated by the Amador family. I'll get into that in just a second. It's going to be narrated by David, because I'm going to read just a few pages. But I want to just read a couple pages and then tell you how I use this in my classroom, and how you can use it in a variety of ways. So this is called Lola's Fandango. Lola and her family live in a small apartment in a building called the Park. The building is in the middle of the city. There is no park, but there is traffic. Honk, honk, go the cars. Lola has one older sister. Lola thinks her sister has the better name. Clementina sounds so much better than Lola. Clementina is taller than Lola, and her braid is longer than Lola's arms. You have such beautiful hair, says Lola. When you're older, you'll have hair just as beautiful, says Clementina. Lola looks at herself in the mirror. Her hair is coarse and wiry, like a terrier. Clementina paints very well. The other day she painted a cat so perfect, it licked its paws when she was done. She's talented, our Clementina, says Papi. Mommy nods. Lola looks at her own painting. Her camel looks like a whale. Okay, just this first page, I just love the start of this. Okay, we're gonna go on. Oh, hold on, I skipped a page. They stuck together. Okay. Clementina has friends. They wear pretty ruffled dresses and have ice cream in the kitchen, and then they go into Clementina's room and close the door. Let me in, says Lola as she knocks on the door. Not now, says Clementina. When you're older, you'll get your own room. Not fair, says Lola. She hides in the closet in Mommy and Papi's bedroom. The closet smells like Mommy's perfume. There are many boxes in the dark corners behind the long coats. Lola opens the first one. Winter clothes. Pfft, they smell like mothballs. Lola opens the second one. Letters. So many letters. Lola recognizes Abuelita's tiny handwriting. Abuelita, she says, I miss you. The third box has a red lid with golden writing. It looks expensive. Lola lifts the lid carefully. A pair of shoes. They have high heels and go tock, tock on the wooden floor. Tock, tock throughout the hallway. Tock, tock into the kitchen. Mommy is sitting at the sewing machine. The sewing machine goes tick, 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 tick. Mommy, why don't you ever wear these shoes? Put those shoes back, right where you found them, Lola, says Mommy. Those are shoes for dancing, not for walking. Dancing? What kind of dancing? Asks Lola. Flamenco, says Mommy. Flamingo? Flamenco. It's a Spanish dance. Does Clementina dance flamenco? Lola asked. No, Mommy answers. Now put those shoes away. Okay, so I'm assuming you can imagine that obviously Lola needs to now take up Fandango, right? Fandango. She needs to now take up flamenco because if her sister doesn't do it, she wants to do it. She wants to be special. So she goes and she tries to learn, and her mom's like, no, I'm busy. And so then she goes to her dad, and he pulls out a picture of Mommy doing flamenco dancing back in the day, and wearing a beautiful dress and doing a beautiful thing. And so Lola is like even more spurred on. She absolutely wants to do it. So Mommy and Clementina go to the grocery store, and Lola gets her first lesson from her dad. The most important thing in flamenco is rhythm, says Papi. Before you start to dance, you have to be able to clap the rhythm. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right? All right, says Lola. Now let's clap together, says Papi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not bad, says Papi and smiles. Now practice this until you know it in your sleep. But I want to dance, says Lola. You will, says Papi, in a few days. Now it's time to go to bed. So she does. She practices it like everywhere. I love this page. She cannot fall asleep for a long time. Practices it. The raindrops on the window sing. Practices the same pattern. The clock on the wall ticks. Same pattern. The cars in the street honk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then Clementina says, wake up, Lola Dormilona. Breakfast is ready. I know it in my sleep. I know it in my sleep, says Lola, and she runs to tell Papi. So she continues to learn. She gets these patterns in her head, and then she practices. Let's see. He teaches her how to stomp your feet. Papi dances. He makes a lot of noise. Toka, toka, tika. Toka, toka, tika. And Lola dances. Toka, toka, thump. Toka, toka, thump. Toka, toka, thump. And so obviously, so she fails a little bit. She gets better and better. She keeps practicing. She keeps trying it on the way to the market, on the way to bed. As she's combing her hair, she keeps practicing. And then the next time he teaches her how to move her arms and hands, and he shows her how to do that. He gives her all these little special things to do. She snaps her fingers. She taps her heels. She whirls her skirt, all these things. And so she slowly learns. And he says, over time she learns all these things, and then it's going to be mom's birthday, and so they learn enough, and she's going to surprise her mom with the dance, right? And she's like, but I need that dress mom is wearing. He's like, you don't need the dress, and she's like, I need the dress. So anyway, she's all frustrated. She doesn't have the dress, doesn't have the dress. And then so her father the last time was like, hold on, I have something for you. And it's a box, and it's this beautiful ruffled dress with the polka dots, just like her mom. So she puts it on, and she goes out and she does the dancing. She tries it, she gets to do it, and then her mom does it with her. And then the neighbor downstairs is really frustrated because they're all banging on the floor, and then they invite him in. But it's a super, super sweet book, and it does give lots and lots of great details about flamenco dancing. It really makes you, like, I love that stories like this that make you feel like you are a part of the learning, you're a part of the process. And so, like, not only do you get to learn some things about flamenco, but, like, you learn it as if you're the learner, right? Like, you hear things as if you're the learner, not just like a outside observer, but you are learning it with Lola. So I sort of love that about it, and I love that her dad's the one who sort of leads her through all of it. But my favorite thing about this is you can use it in so many different ways. You could use this if you wanted to talk about flamenco dancing. You could then have some videos primed and ready to go from YouTube that just demonstrate flamenco dancing or sort of show what it is. Kids get so enthralled by that to see the movement and excuse me, and the rhythm and the dresses. Lola's right, the dress is a big part of it, right? So kids get really enthralled by that. You could talk about flamenco. You could talk about how it fits in with Hispanic culture. I mean, there's so many things you could do just with the themes in the story. You could do it with rhythm. You could then go and play some rhythms and have students repeat back. You could do it with rhythm sticks or castanets or whatever you want if you wanted to just focus on just the rhythm aspect and use this as a way to get there. Especially if you're using like groups of 7 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because this one has a combination of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's like groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So you could do groupings of 2 and 3. Like you could play around with that if you wanted to, the teacher. So there are a lot of like connections, there are cultural connections there. You could do rhythm connections, you could do dance or movement connections. I know there are videos out there that show a little bit of like demo flamenco dancing if you wanted students to practice or play some of that, play around with some of that. But my favorite thing to do is to use this for substitute teachers. Why? Because, if I gave this to a sub, I think some of my subs who have been to my classroom and know me would take this on, right? Like they would be like, yeah, sure, I'll read it. And it does have some Spanish in there, so for some people that's a little bit of something they would want to look ahead or think about or just consider. But it does have a glossary at the back that gives you pronunciation. Well, no, sorry, it doesn't give you pronunciation, but it does give you translations. So that's kind of helpful. But the thing that I think is really, really easy when you're trying to figure this out to use for a sub is what I said at the very beginning of the video. So written by Anna Whitty, illustrated by Misha Archer, and narrated by the Amador family. So mine came with a CD. If you bought it today, I don't know if it would come with a CD or a digital download, but it comes with a CD, and on the CD is the Amador family reading this. So it's a mother and a father and 2 kids, 2 girls. So each one reads one of the parts, and they read the story as if they are Lola's family. And they do all the counting, they do all the Spanish, they do all the stuff. So for a sub, it would be as easy as just like turning the pages and showing the pictures, right? So I know that I've had subs sometimes who are like, this is a great lesson, I'm so interested, except I do not feel comfortable reading this or singing this book or whatever, And so this would be a really easy one to give them and say, just put in the CD, it's 15-minute long recording, just put in the CD, or, I've ripped the CD recording to whatever, and I put it in Google Drive, just click this link and it'll play. And so they can just like show the pictures, and then you could have follow-up worksheets, you could have a follow-up activity, you could have something else to show or to go with it. But it's a super fun book that is really great in context, and kids love reading stories about kids, especially kids who are learning, maybe failing at first because she doesn't get it right away, learning from kids and then seeing like what's next. So it's a super cool book. Love the family aspect. Love the dance aspect. The rhythm especially I think is so fascinating for me because you can have so many different little mini lessons that go along with this. So even if you're not going to like label and talk about specifically, you're not going to present like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I mean, if you're not going to say that, it'd be like, ooh, it's this kind of, compound rhythm, whatever. You don't have to say that, but you could then like go into it, just give examples, so let them explore with some of that. You could even translate this to like words. If you had like words with 3 syllables, words with 2 syllables, letting kids move them around and play with those words and put them in different combinations, right? So like, I don't know. I always go to food words, right? So like apple and like I don't know, what's a 3 sound? Blueberry, blueberry, apple, blueberry, blueberry, apple, 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 blueberry, blueberry, apple, apple, apple. I mean, you could play around with stuff like that and let kids sort of move things around, mix things around, and make some fun combinations that match with some of the themes in the book. So I feel like it has like endless possibilities, but my favorite is anytime I find a resource like this that comes like with a recorded track where the book is read and the music is included, because it has not just them reading it, but also like background sounds and music, and it's a really cool example. Just like I love Eric Litwin's books, especially like Groovy Joe or The Nuts and the Nut House, but all those books that have like musical themes, but then also have Eric Litwin reading it where you can get a free recording. I think those are super cool too. So I wanted to put this on your radar because it's like perfect for this month or really any time of year, but not just because the book is great and the themes are great and whatever, but also because you can use it for a sub or use it for a day if your voice is hurting, or even if you just want to break from talking. That's totally valid, and this is a cool book to use for that. Okay, I hope this gave you some ideas of what you could do getting started. Like I said, I have a whole page of ideas of books that you could use for Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. There's always more. So if you find any books you're like, this wasn't on your list, you should include it or you should check it out, please send me a message because I'd love to learn about more books. But I hope this gave you a good starting point. And then go check out the list and see what can you get from your local library. What maybe do you want to purchase yourself or whatever, so you have it in your classroom. But I hope this gets you started with ideas, and then start thinking ahead about like, well, what would be next? What other months do I want to start looking at? What other books do I want to include? And you can always find fun gems like this that are absolutely worth including in your classroom library and using with your students. Okay, well, thanks for coming along with me tonight. And if you have other suggestions or questions about this book, please shoot me a message. I'd love to hear more of your suggestions and talk more about this book because it's a super fun book. All right, have a great night, everyone. I'll see y'all next week.